Let's turn to another corporate story. Scandinavian Airlines, SAS, has reported a pre-tax loss for the first quarter of 373 million Swedish krona. SAS has said that it needs 50 extra aircraft and is in talks with Airbus. Joining us now from Stockholm for his first interview of the day, Rickard Gustafson, the CEO of SAS. Good morning. So a number of kind of questions around capacity. We'll talk about your desire for more capacity in just a moment. But let's talk a little bit about sort of what you are expecting this business to look like going forward. How do you expect yields to develop? What do you expect load factors to look like going forward? There is an awful lot of capacity coming in on European routes at the moment.
Well, that is correct, and we do anticipate to see more seats that will be available in the market, and that will put further pressure on yields. And therefore, our response to that is to make sure that we build a very, very strong offering and network for our target audience, those who travel frequently to from within Scandinavia, and at the same time continue to drive cost efficiency in our business and create more flexibility so we are more able to adopt our production aligned with the variation in demand over the year. So the strategy that we've seen us working very hard on in the last few years will continue also into the future.
Let's talk about your capacity plans. You're talking about the requirement for an extra 50 additional aircraft. You're talking to Airbus. You're talking about A320Neos. When would you expect to start taking delivery of those Neos?
First and foremost, I'd like to make sure that everybody's aware that we already have or take delivery of A320Neos. We have an existing order of 30 A320Neos, where roughly half of them have been delivered so far, and the remaining 15 will be delivered from now until 2019. But as we look ahead and as we look into 2020 and beyond, we know that if we do nothing, our fleet will start to shrink. We have a number of aircraft that will then hit the aging limit and will actually leave our fleet, and we need to replace those and also build in some further capacity to cope with the growing demand in the European aviation industry. So therefore, we are in talks with Airbus about a complementing order of an additional 50 Airbus A320neo. That will future-proof our business also from 2020 to 2025 to ensure that we can maintain our size as we have today and also have some flexibility to grow in a growing market.
Mr. Gustafson, I'm sorry I don't know this, but which engine option do you have on the 320?
Well, we have the CFM LEAP engine in our existing order.
OK. Do you think the problems that Pratt are having with the geared turbofan will affect your ability to get newer aircraft because people are going to be wanting the CFM slots going forward?
No, I don't think that's going to be an issue. And it's true that Pratt has had some significant issues with their new engine, but I'm absolutely convinced that they will solve those problems. And as we move into 2020 and beyond, that will be a well-functioning engine. We should not forget that also CFM have also had some initial issues with their engine, not to the same extent as Pratt & Whitney, but new technology normally comes with some problems as you kind of put them into production. But as we talk about an order that we will start to take delivery from 2020 and beyond, I'm pretty convinced that those things will be behind us by then.
Do you think once you become more and more centred around the A320neo, that would make it easier for SAS maybe to think about M&A, or for others to think about M&A with SAS? We were joking, talking about the fact that the new Lufthansa tailfin looks remarkably similar to the SAS tailfin, which would, just from an aesthetic point of view, at least make it easier to put the two groups together.
Well, I don't want to speculate on that, but it's absolutely true, though, that if we can take the SAS to a single-type fleet, which will be the first time in our 70-year history that we actually operate a single-type fleet, of course, that would reduce complexity, that will enhance our ability to adopt and further optimize our production and further drive cost efficiency in our business. And my take on this is I think that Europe long-term will need some sort of consolidation. What we can do in order to control our own destiny is to build a strong Scandinavian business structure with a strong grip of all of those who need to travel frequently to from within Scandinavia. Can we do that successfully? I'm sure when a further European consolidation effort will take place, we should be in good place to participate in such an event if and when it happens.